Thank you, sir. Everyone, all the patients. So greetings and a warm welcome to everyone. This is Rituparna, the assigned moderator from Clarinet. It is my sincere pleasure to extend a heartfelt welcome to all the delegates who has joined us today. And the focus of today's session is Lessons from Expert, and it is organized by the National Knowledge Forum, Gujarat State Chapter. So without any further delay, I would like to hand over the session to you, Dr. Kunal Iyer, sir, the Honorable Secretary of NNF Gujarat Chapter, to start the event today with his enlightening words and for the further context. So over to you, sir. Kindly proceed with your talk. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ritu. So today we are continuing with our neonatal Pathshala series. And since the first week of August is celebrated as the World Breastfeeding Week, we have been organizing it in a huge way. And we have done a lot of program. We are doing a lot of programs all over the Gujarat. And as a part of that, we are continuing with the series. And so today we are privileged to have Sheila Iyer Madam with us, she is the teacher of teachers. And she will be delivering a talk about the breastfeeding, the updates. So before starting this session, I would request Shwetal ma'am to say a few words.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kunal. I'm really very privileged to have Dr. Sheila ma'am as my advisory board member, and she has agreed to, like, she always keep on reviewing and researching, and she's updated with most of the topics with the neonatology, and the breastfeeding is one of the thing which is also has a place in Lancet, and most of us may have missed to review that or see that. So we would discuss that this can be the one of the good topic to take up as a rough symposium to know about what Lancet says, what across the world about breastfeeding, what are the reviews and research going on. So ma'am has immediately agreed and even suggested, and she has prepared a wonderful presentation for that. Thank you so much, madam, for agreeing it. And like we are maybe a bit lazy in looking at Lancet, but your symposium will definitely make us updated about the Lancet series. Thank you so much, ma'am.
My pleasure.
Nitin, you can introduce madam.
Yeah, so welcome everybody. My responsibility is to introduce our speaker for the day in Neonatal Pathshala, Dr. Sheila Iyer, a person who doesn't need any introduction. She is an eminent neonatologist, not only of Gujarat, but of whole of India. Just to complete the formality, Madam has done her MBBS and MD from MS University, followed by fellowship in neonatology from Australia. She has been a former professor and head Department of Pediatrics, SSG Hospital and Medical College, Vadodara. She is a recognized undergraduate and postgraduate teacher at MS University and Vadodara examiner for pediatrics at MBBS and MD at MS University and various other universities. She has been a course coordinator of IIP Neonatology Fellowship at SSG Hospital. Her field of specialization is neonatology as well as nutrition and growth and development. She is also a director of Pediatric Hemophilia Clinic at SSG, and she had established a NQAS certified human milk bank, I think one of the first human milk banks in the government sector in Gujarat. And obviously she had one more feather on her cap is that she has been a Gujarat State NNF audition in the year 2022. Organizational experience, she has been a secretary of NNF Gujarat State Chapter for the year 2003 and 2004. There are many other things which can be said about Madam, but to cut it short, we are proud to have her amongst us, and to listen from her would be a privilege for us. So over to you, Madam. We can begin the scientific session. Thank you.
Thank you for your kind words, Nitin. Yes, all of you have been my students. We all have had a very long association. Okay, to start with, I'll share the screen. No? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Just a minute, I'll just make it full screen. Visible?
No, ma'am, not visible.
Not? Not even now?
No, ma'am.
નો મેમ તમે જ દેખાવ છો સ્ક્રીન શેર ના ઓપ્શન પર તમે પહેલા ડેસ્કટોપ પર લઈ લીધું
હા, ડેસ્કટોપ પર લઈ લીધું, નીચે મેં ઓપન બી કરી દીધેલું.
સ્ક્રીન શેર પછી
પાછી જાઉં સ્ક્રીન શેર પર. ઓકે, okay, let me again.
યસ મેમ હવે કદાચ શેર થયો હવે તમે એમાં ક્લિક કરી લો
હવે આવ્યું?
હા
Yes,
હવે
ma'am.
ફૂલ સ્ક્રીન કરો મેડમ
હા, હવે?
Yes.
ડન
Now
ડન
it's
ડન પરફેક્ટ પરફેક્ટ
Okay. Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Friends, it's been we reached the last day of our breastfeeding week celebration. As per this year's theme, closing the gap, breastfeeding support for all. Probably this year, all over India, as well as in state of Gujarat, probably we really saw a very good support in celebrating and delivering the message to the community, to the healthcare personnel. So I think it's been really, really a very, very fruitful celebration. And probably we need to continue this throughout the year. So something which I'm going to now talk in the next 30-40 minutes is Lancet came out with a series of articles, 3 series on breastfeeding in year 2023. When you read through that, I think it's not only the healthcare personnel's responsibility, but lot as society as a whole also we all need to be responsible to see that we protect, promote and support. Just some figures. If we could get breastfeeding right and a good IYCF practices, probably we'll be preventing so many deaths in infants and children, as well as we'll prevent so many morbidities in babies and young children and the mothers. At the same time, it's going to really save so much of healthcare cost, which all these problems do cause. Okay. I think all of us are aware about this NFHS data. It's disheartening that with institutional delivery is going up to 95% also, though this NFHS 5 had for 88.6. Only 41.6% babies are breastfed within 1 hour. So probably our healthcare personnel conducting deliveries, we need to really sensitize them and get it implemented. Similarly, for our state of Gujarat, where we have been working so hard, we are still at the middle of the whole country. When you look at it, our data still at 37% initiation in first hour and 50 or 55% only getting exclusive breastfeeding for the first 6 months. We really need to gear up. We need to gear up and work at every level, because now more and more institutional deliveries occurring, healthcare people being aware, where are we faltering? There are many other challenges that we have to face, but we do have to come out of it. Look at this, all the states. I have just highlighted state of Gujarat. In NFHS 4, we were nearly 50% early initiation, which has gone down by 10%, almost 12 to 13. Though we increased in our exclusive breastfeeding for or up to 6 months, we improved our data. Other states are much ahead of us. We shouldn't look at somebody who is behind us, but we should look at those who are ahead of us. And we should, when we are aiming at a single digit NMR or IMR, both, breastfeeding is going to be a very, very important intervention of early and exclusive with good IYCF practices as far as the complementary feed is concerned. Let's look at the Gujarat data of NFHS 4 and 5. As I mentioned already, that early initiation has come down. Exclusive, we have improved upon. Look at the C-section rates increasing. Maybe it's more reaching there. This has been a concern many people are talking about it. Maybe this is one where we really need to work, that prelacteal feeds of animal milk or formula milk and delayed initiation is a common outcome of cesarean delivery. So I think all of us as Many in private sector or even in government sector, pediatric trained people or pediatrician or neonatologists are attending. The nurses and others, we really have to train them up to improve these figures, that we don't go down to 37, but we come to 60% and above and reach the goal of 70% further. Okay. Now, what is this 2023 Lancet series on breastfeeding has been? Lancet came out in 2023 February with its first article. What they have done is, they have discussed in the article 1 that breastfeeding is crucially important but increasingly challenging in a market-driven world. Probably all of you would agree, because you've been also practicing, as well as I have young postgraduates and fellows who are our future practitioners, that unknowingly the market definitely creeps into it. Okay, very easily, if you go and see the data of all metro cities, their commercial milk formula sale, it has been going up. And something is which we really have to see whether how can we decrease that. The series 2 was on, article 2 was on marketing of commercial milk formula, a system to capture parents, community, science and policy. Okay, that's why there has been multi-pronged attack with IMS Act, WHO also making it as a milk substitution formulas being coming under the IMS Act. Parents, communities, they've been coming up with a lot of evidence that it is better, or you could use here, you could use that. And young people definitely get lured by. And when maintaining in those sick babies, breastfeeding mom difficult, it easily gets into as a formula. So again, this is something which we really have to think about. And third article was on the political economy of infant and young child feeding. It's very, very important MDG goal, as well as in our overall health development, confronting corporate power of all these multinationals and overcoming structural barriers and accelerating progress. So all three have most of the things I think all of us are aware. But what the articles have done is they have put it with the data and really asked for that. How do we really need to act that we don't make it market driven or dominated by them and the breastfeeding rates go down. And it is low and middle income group countries have really have to take care. Developed countries are also trying to get back to breast milk as their major. All their associations are also recommending that. Look at this slide. What Lancet series with from the evidence and systemic search found, only 1 in 2 newborns are put to breast within the first hour of life. So that's 50%. Estimated 341.3 billion US dollars per year is lost globally for unrealized benefits to health and human development because inadequate investment in protecting, promoting, and supporting. Okay, so what all we have been trying to do in this week, we have to, I think, continue it with furthermore zeal. And each one, anywhere where you fail to establish breastfeeding, you would ask yourself, why did it happen? 1 in 3 babies in LMICs are given feed other than breast milk during first 3 days, a practice that increases the chances of breast milk failure. There I said, na, the increasing cesarean section worries me, because that's a, if you look at any data, first day pre-lacteal animal or milk formula or water-based formula or anything, you would find that in a medical setup also, it is given to those babies who are delivered by C-section. Non-breast milk feeding in the maternity facility is strongly associated with delayed initiation of breastfeeding, and early initiation fails. Okay. So these are some of the, what they, from all the countries they see. I know the left side of that would look very crowded, but basically pre-lacteal feeds. Here I want to specify, we always kept on thinking that the honey and sugar water, patasa water, all are pre-lacteal. But giving animal milk or anything else in the first 24 to 48 hours to a baby is also pre-lacteal non-breast milk feeding. Okay, so that has definitely deranged your early and exclusive breastfeeding in most of the LMIC, which has been seen in this. Look at the key structural factors which have been acting very well put is there is gender inequality. Okay, working women have problems, and this, though government orders, sometimes if you see world all over, that early starting of work by mother, not having creche facility, not having milk expression facility and getting it back to, that does put in a mother who is educated, who is ready to feed, still that keeps her. So maternity leave and no loss of job is very, very important in all strata. Misleading advertisements, the marketing gimmicks and tactics of commercial milk formula. Companies exploit emotions, aspirations, and misleading signs to generate sales of their product. I think all of you would agree when those MRs come and tell you, show you DHA has been added. This is going to increase the intelligence. That's why it's come to us. Now we have to tell that a breastfed baby is more intelligent, has better IQ, prevents later on all those diseases. So as they are doing it for their CMF, we'll have to do that and go get into for the breast milk. Government policies. Probably government policies have been pro breastfeeding, but the CMF industry employs a worldwide network of powerful lobby groups who work to influence policymakers and block government regulations. See, we long back, many of you would agree, even Shwetal would agree, that many of our conferences, they used to come, they would be ready to support. They would say, we'll train your nurses, we'll not put our banner. We are
Absolutely.
this is our research initiative. This is not our market. So that way, like I've faced that. And earlier, before we started our human milk bank, we had to use formula in all our preterm and high-risk babies and all. And they used to be after my life, Madam, Amari formula na kaone, Amari, because they used to get a good chunk there. So they are in different way, definitely getting in. Socio-economic inequality and neo-colonial wealth extraction, economic interests of all this commercial milk formula companies. So all that is a big challenge, and it's our cumulative responsibility that how do we tackle it. Because as an individual also, or as any institution, or running any of those NICUs, hospitals, or as pediatrician, we do participate in some or the other way in all this. So it's not the sole responsibility of the woman, or it's a society's collective responsibility. And I think we play a major role in protecting, promoting, and supporting it. Okay, there have been government health organizations who have been trying to promote it. Healthcare system and education everywhere. That's what we've been doing in this last 1 week. And investment in maternity protection, supporting breastfeeding at workplace, enforcing legislation prohibiting discrimination against women during maternity and child breastfeeding, as well as training providers and families on baby behaviors after birth. This has been quite in length they have discussed in the article, that a fussy baby, self-regulated, just that I don't have enough supply. Many mothers feel that, and they start with formula. We really need to be spending a lot of time in counseling them, that mother's conception of low milk supply or inadequate supply, or many of those fussy baby and all, they'll be better off with bottle, they'll be more satisfied, and then formula enters in. All those things really have to taken care by us by counseling. So these are the key points which come out from that Article 1. And this SRIM that they have used, self-reported insufficient milk, continues to be one of the most common reason for introducing formula and stopping or slowly decreasing the breastfeeding. I think most of you would agree, those who have been in practice for a long time, when mother already comes to you or you are trying to counsel, she already has introduced. And it's, as told, not the sole responsibility of women alone. Society as a whole, as well as healthcare delivery persons, people like us also are very, very much responsible. I think none of us need to really know about it, because all of us know. But remember, you can use in various ways. We have seen in all our poster competition, benefit to mother, infant, child, in adulthood. And one more probably one can put it as that very intelligent children would grow up if they receive only and only mom. This is again some data that you would see, that child ever breastfed 2020 rate was 95. Put within 1 hour of birth, only 49. Fed exclusively for 2 days after breast milk for first 2 days after birth, data wasn't available. Exclusively for 6 months, only 44%. Mixed feeding, exact data not available. But what WHO is wanting that we get all this data up to 70% and more. Okay. Look at it. Target is 70%. What has been the UNICEF and CDC and all have drawn a curve from till the 2070 data? If you find probably Southeast Asian and Asian countries will definitely cross this if we continue with efforts that we are making. Probably they are finding in West and Central Africa, Middle East countries, developed countries like United States and all, whose still the rates are going to be lower. So we really have to continue and escalate our interventions to see that we achieve more and more early and exclusive breastfeeding. Again, up to 6 months, the same data in a detail that it's been given. You can look at this also, that India and some of the Southeast Asian countries are much better off than others, but that's not the target that we are looking for. Okay. This is a little complex slide, but definitely timely initiation of breastfeeding, the setting where it takes place, the structural, political, economic, social, and technological, and better political economy of commercial, decreasing the commercial milk formula use and the marketing is going to play a major role. And the total, all this determines leading to exclusive breastfeeding. There's legislation, there is a political will, there is counseling. All this can definitely have, that's what has been discussed in the article. So the key messages, most of it are already, but we have to, that the CMF products and artificial formula feeding cannot emulate that living same as breast milk. It's not humanized. It might be biochemically same, but not humanized. Okay, it has many more disadvantages as compared to mother's milk. And pre-lactal feeds, how do we decrease? Okay, animal milk, formula, anything that's going, how are we going to decrease? That's another area that we really need to work on. And pre-lactal feeding is strongly associated with delayed initiation of. The other message was self-reported insufficiency of milk can generally be prevented or addressed by successfully with appropriate counseling, and the mother's counseling should be from the antenatal, intranatal, and postnatal period, putting the baby, go more towards the mother and newborn care, zero separation. I think this will work out much better way then. Because half of the mothers globally, this is not only in India, all other countries also, this SRM, self-report of insufficient milk supply is a prime reason for starting early formula or early supplementation. So that was article 1 of the series. The article 2 deals more with the marketing of commercial milk formula. It's a systemic approach that they have captured parents, communities, science, and politics. Okay, probably in India, it's not, we have not seen, but if you go to West, it's so easily, all supermarkets are flooded with it. So mother very easily picks it up. So there has to be something which would decrease this. And key message of this article 2 on the commercial milk formula manufacturers, that it has negatively altered the young infant and young child feeding ecosystem totally. CMF sales are annually in $55 billion. This is a very, very, amongst the food industry, probably a very high, especially when there's a natural source available, when it has to be used so much. It's a different thing in some emergencies and high-risk situation, but otherwise it should not be so much. And one has to again keep telling people that breast milk and breastfeeding are unparalleled in composition, immune properties, health and development outcomes. Again, CMF marketing is very, very multifaceted, sophisticated, well-resourced, and powerful system of influencing that generates demand and sale of all their products at the expense of the health and the right of family, women, and children. This they have discussed at length that how it happens. It exploits emotions. Like they give such photographs on the tin of the baby that mother always feels, if I give this, my baby is going to look like this. They have at individual level also targeted. They targeted health professionals, corporate backing up. Then again, they've come up with science, a lot of science, that this would be good for them, this would improve the neurological development. We have added this, we have subtracted this, we have made this more. So they've really very, very targeted at all level. They have played a role there. Okay. And conflicts of interest threaten the integrity and impartiality of health professionals. Because I think many of my generation, as well as immediate later, many times you do feel that many of them try to influence you, and you really have to be very, very strong that you are not going to get influenced by their various marketing gimmicks. It is violation of International Code of Marketing of Breast Milk Substitute and subsequent resolution, which has all tried, that CMF companies still continue to defy the principles and recommendations of the code knowingly and regularly. Okay. Governments have obligations to ensure their citizens have impartial information about feeding infants and young children, and act on all these policies that are free from commercial influence. And marketing at any level should not be permitted in antenatal clinics, in postnatal wards, in pediatric clinics, or any kind of, there should not any be, and a framework should be taken place, and a strict marketing regulation should be there on the sale of these products. Okay. Look at this, one of the picture figures that they give. Misuse of infant behavior and development in commercial milk formula marketing. That they would call it as an amazing milk, or it's an optimum nutrition for your baby, or it's a golden milk. Okay, these are all something which they are trying to use against breast milk. It is going to cause advanced IQ. It will increase the excellence. Like all these formulas are in market, and from that only all these pictures have. So marketing portraits CMF. We really have to do the problem solving and confidence boosting of mothers, that it is this alternative to breast milk is not providing all this, is provided more by your own breast milk. So products incorporate all scientific acronyms like this, as I told you, Optimilk or Advanced IQ or Cold Milk, many things. So labels are very, very luring to parents. Marketing claims that CMO products influence health outs such as brain development, immunity. I already emphasized on it, so I'll go to. So arbitration of this scientific evidence and misrepresentation of research. Really, you have to look at it. Many times I found them, when I asked them to show me the reference where it's told that you had done a case control trial, because it's not ethical. None of them can do a case control trial comparing it with breast milk. Okay. Sponsorship, journals, and advisory roles. All of us, those who are in organization, those who are occupying administrative posts and all, see to that. I think BP and I fought a lot. IMS Act and initial years, I still remember the way R.K. Anand, Dr. Arun Phatak and all used to tell that none of this should be there. Those days, even I was a young postgraduate and just finished my MD, used to tell why they are going over the board. But over the years, I do realize that sponsorship, journals, and their advisory role, so they are getting into our system, definitely has a long-term impact, and we should all remain away from. They erode our legal and regulatory standards also, and that affects CMF marketing. If you say, like, our law does not allow any commercialization of breast milk product, still some Ayush license and a company, Neolecta, marketed the mother's milk fortification and mother's milk in various sachets for quite some time. Now only it's gone out of the market, and he has come so many times for the last 5 years to me, even at SSGH. So they have that tactics by which they many times they can find a way out from our legal and regulatory standards. Exploitation of data and the digital marketing of commercial milk formula. Now in the era of digital marketing, many of these things don't come into our eyes. They could do it through all those various social media channels, and then they are providing unparalleled access to and information about to their consumers. They integrate it with social and commercial influences, and personal data and locations are harvested with the use of artificial intelligence. So this was more on how the commercial milk formula industry has been doing it, is what discussed in the Article 2 of the series. Now coming to the Article 3 of the series, the political economy of infant and young child feeding. There is confronting corporate power of these multinational companies. Do you realize which are the companies which are producing infant milk substitutes? Probably major multinationals. There was a very good movie where Imran Hashmi had acted, and he was one of the representatives of this infant milk substitutes working in Pakistan. He realized when his own child on formula developed some, then many other issues were shown to him. So I just now forget, but then that's there on one of my I'll post it on our group at times. Very well documented that the political economy and the confronting corporate power we have to fight if we have to see that the commercial milk formula products don't overcome all this and they start dictating terms. There are structural barriers and accelerating progress, but really one has to act against it. Key message was political economy research helps to understand the social, political, and economic reasons for the low rates of breastfeeding worldwide, and we have to overcome them. It can be done, as we saw that our own states have been improving over the years. So I think we should be able to get by 2030 at the rate of 70% and above, as projected in that graph that I showed earlier. And there would be a substantial power of corporate and financial actors in this, but underpinned would be by global trade and investment. Okay. Another message which comes out in this last article, that inadequacy of governments and economic system in recognizing the value of breastfeeding and care of work. Predominantly, it has to be done by women, but insufficient investment in maternity protection are also factors, because we have to start training them, sensitizing them from the antenatal period as well as try to solve all their problems at social level also. 500 million women worldwide are denied adequate maternity care, most of whom are underpaid, precarious, or informal workers. See, they all are not working in a very secured working status. So they all feel insecure about their job. They early join them. They don't get paid or unpaid leave for longer period and end up prematurely adding formulas to their babies' feeds. So recommendation 1, which has been there after this, curtail the power and political activities of the CMF industry, which has to be looked at, otherwise slowly it will creep in. And state practices that do not uphold or that violate the rights of women and children. Okay, because feeding and development and growth of a child is a fundamental right of a child, and the same way breastfeeding and IVCF are going to be fundamental rights. Recognize, resource, and redistribute women's care work burdens in support of breastfeeding. I think last year's our theme was on that only, that how do we support working mothers. Okay, address structural deficiencies and commercial conflicts of interest in health system and correct them. Increase public finance and correct the misalignment between private and public interest. Okay, it could happen that we, in a public hospitals with large workload, we are not supporting them. In private, at times, there are other issues which are coming. So all that also has to be addressed. Mobilize and resource advocacy coalition to generate political commitment for this. I think that is there. NHM as well as I'm coming to last few slides where I am talking about that Indian government is doing enough to this. It's all our collective responsibility where we would see the results. So when everyone steps up to support mothers, breastfeeding would be easier. Okay, this is WHO slogan. I think and none of us would refute this. If we get together, what we can achieve is nobody can think about it. These are some of women everywhere need paid maternity leave, security for their job. So these are all government legislations and working with them. Everyone steps up, as I told you. When your workplace provides support, you would continue early and exclusive breastfeeding. What is Indian government doing? Just a couple of slides. We have IMS Act in place. So properly gets regulated and punishment to that happens is what we all can as responsible citizens as well as healthcare workers and pediatricians can do. Ma, I'm coming just one or two slides. What has been Ma has been very, very ambitious project of Government of India. We have good IYCF national guidelines. Breastfeeding laws for working mothers are there, 6 months leave for this. Baby-friendly hospital initiative is there. We have national guidelines on lactation management centers at health facilities and the quality assurance standards which have come up in 2021. Say, this is Ma. Stanpan. I think Nitin took it in his radio talk. Vikalp nahi, sankalp. About Ma, mother's absolute affection. Programs for this are being conducted in big way. And I think all of us have supported this and have been participating in them. Okay, goals and objectives of this is breastfeeding to be positioned as an important intervention for child survival and development. Again, reinforce, incentivize. You can do that to your Anganwadi and Asha workers. Okay, this is to be implemented at 3 levels: macro, meso, micro. An overview of all these components of the program is awareness generation, which we did try this week in a big way. Community level interventions we did, health facility strengthening and monitoring, because we need to improve our quality improvement at all hospital levels, that our breastfeeding rates, early and exclusive, both increase. Okay, community level activities, capacity building, BFHI activities are really good for it. Successfully implementing WHO's 10 steps for successful breastfeeding. Okay, analyze and provide people who've been doing good work, accredit those hospitals which are baby friendly. Okay, these are all supporting partners who have been trying to help protect, promote, and support breastfeeding. For working mothers in India, you must know that there are laws which are applicable, which could be implemented. Okay, how so with that, I think many things which we are doing, we should continue doing. Probably then babies would give us thumbs up, telling thank you. You protected my rights.
Thank you so much, madam, for a wonderful, eye-opening symposium. Like for the most important topic, as you said in the beginning, to decrease the NMR, whatever efforts we have done in the last week has to be continued perennial, and each one of us, each one of the stakeholders has to be committed for that. So I'm really very thankful on behalf of NNF Academic Program Neonatal Pathshala for such a wonderful symposium. Kunal, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you can continue.
Yeah. Thank you so much, ma'am, for enlightening us with the lancet this series. We might not have read it ever. So thank you.
One of the
because
reasons when I told Shwetal that with a busy schedule and some of these topics
yes.
do go out like otherwise, but then it keeps coming again and again. Lancet has been child survival, neonatal survival, and last year they came out with this 3. There's nothing that what we don't know, but it was eye-opening. Is it sometimes very easily the corporates and market-driven things can easily get in, and we might lose our focus. That's what they are trying to tell us.
And I would like to share one thing, like this formula company, you even don't know how they trap you. So one day it happened in our own association in Baroda, a small association where we frequently meet on weekends, one of the weekend, and just have a get together. It's a woman pediatrician. So like we were not aware, they will not tell, like they will catch hold one pediatrician and she or he will deliver a talk, and there is just a gathering in the hotel. So then I came to know, oh, this is a Nestle. So and I just approached Sheila madam and Uma madam, and immediately both of us supported me for that. Yes, we should not be part of such activities. And that the Uma ma'am supported in that extent that the entire program was rescheduled with another sponsor. There was some like emotional like the hurt also happened who organized it, but both of them stand with me so strong, and both of them have engraved in my mind such things that I can immediately I put up on the WhatsApp group કે ના madam આપણે આપણા આમાં જવાય જ નહીં. This is a this sponsors are with a formula. So now the act is that even our IAP, because they have not only the formula, they have come into the other product also. So along with formula, they have some multivitamin drops, and they say only will this. So we don't have to even have the sponsorship from the companies who just come up with multivitamin, but they have a other product like formula also. So that is very important that IMS Act breaching has lot of small things we have to see. They just come to our hospital and they, madam, we just want to give a leaflet for the breastfeeding promotion. But that leaflet has a tag of a Nestle or some other company. So we have to be very careful. They may give you gift of like just a bottle sterilizer. We don't require a bottle sterilizer. So this is very important thing that you have a strong mentor, then only we can go ahead. Otherwise, this formula companies are really they have a lot of other techniques to approach us, and so this was really very this I want to share with every one of you that to have strong mentors is one of the blessings which I have, and no, in our setup since madam was there. In our SNCU, we don't bring formula. Only the orphan gets, and that is provided by the Nari Sanrakshan group. It is not prescribed from our pharmacy. So one in another NNF accreditation, I went for the NNF accreditation. Even there was a formula in their pharmacy was objected. So even your pharmacy should not have the formula. That strong it is. And also they cannot support, like they are very they want to support your webinars and seminars also. So that also we have to be very careful for the infant formula. And one of the innovative activity Bhavnagar college has done is under the leadership of Mehul Bhai, that they went to the pharmacy, like medical stores, and share their knowledge about the formula to whom they can like without prescription there should not be a formula. OTC platform formula cannot be given. So that was really good activity from the Bhavnagar Medical College. Whatever we can do, we have to do. Otherwise, it's a big ocean of market formula where some may get slip and may accept it. We, the stakeholders, have to be strong towards the breastfeeding. Thank you so much, madam.
Thank you. Yes, I do agree. Sometimes medically you are in orphans.
Yeah,
and
that is different.
But only thing is, never in your NICU, it should be there on the trolley. It should be prepared in your feeding area and directly given to. Kind of don't make it available, kept on your postnatal ward or on. I had to at times very strictly, and this has happened. One of our pediatrician colleague who was an NABH assessor, he said, first thing I found in that corporate hospital, and the sale was maximum of formula. So as a tenant, we have to see, you agreed as a pediatrician, as a neonatologist, at times there are issues where you need to use it. Milk bank sorted out those issues for very well. And now I'm at another place where also I have milk bank, so I'm able to do with zero formula. But maybe it's an orphan child or a multiple gestation where you require, but then those numbers are very, very less. And it should not be very easily, anybody who goes and takes it, no, it should remain a prescriptional drug. Then yes. I think the sale also will come down.
And one more thing, the MA, that is Mother's Absolute Affection program of government, is not only for the government setup. That day I went to Isha and I heard Shilpi madam, they are practicing most of the things of this, whatever the criteria or checklist in MA program is there. So even a corporate hospital can apply it as BFHI certified. Similarly, MA certified hospital. And there they have a certification as well as some of the cash incentives. But if you are practicing within, you can also apply for your MA certification of your facility. So that is really encouraging to see certain corporate hospital in our hospital who are in our city who are practicing absolutely 10 steps of BFHI. Really proud of to be in Baroda for the same.
One
Yeah, I
suggestion from
think
my side,
as
madam.
a NNF, we can even, like all our colleagues who are running NIC, like how do we encourage? Most of you all are doing it, and a good area for expression for preterm also, like mom goes as 100%. All of that we can start implementing. We can encourage our colleagues, those who are, because sometimes it doesn't come in the initial area of planning. But yes, I saw that in Nitin. I told Avni first, good, you kept one, because that was my first comment when I came to your new place.
Actually,
So I
ma'am,
think
I
all
would
of
like
us
to.
should become more supportive to that.
I would like to, just give my experience. I am running 2 units of an ICU. One is, as you all know, in the Manjalpur, which is run mainly predominantly by one gynecologist, whereas another unit which caters to many other obstetricians. Now, what I want to tell is that unless until we get support from our
From them.
colleague obstetricians,
Yes.
na, it becomes
Yeah.
very, very difficult for us to get express breast milk from mothers on day one. Now, what happens is this all exercise has to start from the antenatal period, which in
True.
spite of request and everything, now it doesn't happen. So I think as an NNF, we should have such programs with our obstetrician colleagues as well, and sensitize them that we as pediatricians are ready to take the responsibility. But the support from the obstetric friends is very, very important, because unless until we
Absolutely
have,
right, Nitin. But
yeah,
just like we can take help of Shilpi madam, because when she was presenting antenatal counseling, what I felt, it was from her heart. So such gynecologist friends can only come up and collaborate with NNF. Otherwise, if I go and ask if a perinatal meeting kariye, so they will come and listen. But it has to
yeah,
be
but
come from
doesn't
within.
implement. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think no
I know we
NNF.
need, they are important partners to us, for us to
Yes,
do it.
Yeah.
Very,
and
very important.
So I am
and
ready with the perinatology session. If we want to do, we can call in the neonatal Pathshala. But only
yes,
those four will not. We need Priti madam is practicing, Shilpi madam is practicing, and some of your, I don't know whether Naomi, or you can just tell us your experience.
yeah.
So
So we need
those who are
such.
practicing can come together and invite us, and we can collaborate. So the others who are not able to practice can make some efforts. That we
Right.
can do. Or what you can do, we can like our own, you have a lactation management staff, right? So
Right.
she's already going to your birthing units,
Yes.
so she can go
So,
and have a once a week antenatal session in the
right.
last trimester.
So we
That
we
way you
conducted
can.
we conducted this breastfeeding week in 6 of our
Yes, yes,
obstetric hospitals,
that
and
was a commendable thing.
believe me, madam, only one obstetrician came in that event, and all rest 5, none of the obstetrician even came in their own hospital.
It's
They did.
okay, it's okay. See,
Okay,
you
we'll keep
you
trying. We'll
start,
keep trying.
it's okay, later on they'll come
Yeah.
up.
So we
But
need to
just
have
now it's okay, they
motivation
allow
from.
you see, they
Uh,
allow you, this thing
yeah,
is
they
much more.
allowed, they were happy. But what happens is that, the neonatologists come into picture on day 1 of birth. But obstetrician is with the mother for 9 months. So if she says now that you have to breastfeed and this thing, the mother gets far more sensitized and respects that opinion. But when it comes from a pediatrician and the mother is not motivated, she is going through so much of the postnatal issues, that it becomes difficult to convey, and that is where the chain breaks. The first hour,
Yes.
what madam told, 39%. It's really disheartening that we are going back on the figures on first hour, golden hour
In
breastfeeding.
fact, I have written to NMC that the practice of PP unit and posting the gynec resident to the pediatric department, please restart, because it has stopped. So now they
Yes.
don't even get exposure for that.
For
So
that.
yes, but 1 or 2 units who are doing better, best, I think we can highlight them so that other can get inspired.
Right. I think from
Because
next year, we should have obstetrician colleagues also as a part of World Breastfeeding Week celebrations, and
so
we should
let's
have
have
their
a
active
let's
participation.
have a seminar for that. I am ready for that.
Yes,
See,
perfect.
Nitin, you
Sure, ma'am.
commented na only 1 or 2. We've been also doing all the activity in Rukmani Chenani. We've been doing all. Look at how many my obstetric colleagues were there in that. You have a
Yes,
better half who is an
I
obstetric.
know.
Where is Shonali? Where is
no,
Shonali?
no.
I
No,
tell you,
no,
madam.
ma'am, today I would like to, no, ma'am, I didn't disagree with that. Today, Gokhale sir only organized a role play for the
Yes.
with the labor room staff.
Yes, I'm
And
aware
today,
about it.
and they came and asked, Shetal Taru, pelu, to kya, banner aapne? So it was organized by gynec department. We haven't
Yeah.
taken them into, they themselves have organized. So there is some changes going on.
Good. It
And
will come over the time.
It
Yes.
should
yes,
come
yes.
for you.
And I want to share one more thing. I went for an NF accreditation in Amritsar, and there the cesarean section was going on. and the baby was delivered and was on the trolley. So I said, why the baby is on the trolley? Let us give a breastfeeding. The gynecologist didn't utter a single word, and she allowed me to breastfeed that baby. And then I asked the resident, your OG department is very cooperative, no? Madam, वो तो आप हो ना.
अभी नहीं करना.
So some change will definitely happen over a time. We have to take a initiative. And Nitin,
Okay.
I am ready for the perinatology
Yeah, we should.
symposium. If
We'll
you
begin at least
so-
something on breastfeeding activities.
see, 3 gynecologists, I'm sure I'll invite. They will definitely come. One is Shonali, Preeti madam, and Shilpi madam. The
Right.
rest of they have to bring. So
You know
one
what,
day we'll
Shwetal?
definitely have.
Shwetal,
Yes, ma'am.
each of us should get 3. You can
Yeah.
do that.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
each
Fine.
of us
Done.
have to
Done.
get 3. And if somebody
Yes,
saying
yes.
she's from my side and Sheila will say no, she's from my side. Oh, no, third.
Nahin,
Nahin,
Strong
nahin. Done,
separate.
done, done. So let us, Nitin, we take this challenge.
Sure,
You
madam,
have lot
sure.
of birthing unit with you in private sector.
Pakka,
I'll
madam. We'll
assure my my government sector obstetricians, at least 10-15 are gathered. We will have a session in
Right.
Baroda, or we can have an online session. No problem.
And we can have a topic only on first golden hour breastfeeding. Rest everything
Bas,
will
bas,
get the
that's all.
endpoint
We will
included.
concentrate only on the first golden hour.
Golden hour.
Done.
Great.
Next week,
Sure, ma'am.
Nitin?
Pakka. We'll work out, madam.
We'll work out. Okay,
Sure.
okay. Thank you
Okay.
so much, ma'am.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much, Sheila ma'am, for the wonderful talk. Thank you, Nitin sir, for excellently moderating the session. Very happy to see Uma ma'am also with us. Thank you so much, Shwetal ma'am. Vishal has also been throughout the session. So thank you all. Thank you, ClearNet, for the seamless experience. So thank you all once again. And with this, we can end the session. Ritu.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, dear doctors, for sharing such valuable insights. I hope you had a seamless experience. So with all your permission, we are signing off, sir. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.